In this world, where people are too often driven by selfish desires and fleeting loyalties, your power lies not in how many chase you, but in how many fear losing you. When you become the kind of person whose presence is felt, whose absence creates a vacuum, you hold the key to influence, to impact, to legacy. The truth is simple. People respect what is rare, what is valuable, what is not easily replaced. And if you live your life like you're easily replaced, the world will treat you that way. But if you carry yourself with purpose, with discipline, and with the quiet confidence of someone who knows their worth, people will start to notice. They will feel the weight of your absence before they even fully recognize the value of your presence. You must condition your mind to never beg for a seat at a table where your value is overlooked. Instead, build your own table, forge your own path, until the same people who ignored your presence begin to fear your distance. Because when you evolve into someone who adds undeniable value through loyalty, through vision, through the excellence of your actions, you become a presence that cannot be ignored. Do not chase, become. Become the standard, become the force that moves others. Let them see that losing you isn't just losing a person, it's losing consistency, character, fire. People remember how you made them feel, what you helped them believe, how you raised their standards just by being in the room. The greatest power you will ever wield is silent power, the kind that doesn't need to demand attention because it naturally commands it. You don't get that by seeking validation. You get it by working on yourself relentlessly. You get it by becoming so aligned with your purpose that others either rise to meet you or fall away in your absence. When you become irreplaceable, not because of arrogance, but because of your contribution, your authenticity, your undeniable energy, then the game changes. Then they fear losing you, and that, my friend, is when you've truly arrived. Become so valuable that your absence is felt louder than your presence. Build yourself into someone whose energy, standards, and presence cannot be replicated. Become so valuable that your absence is felt louder than your presence. This is not just a phrase, it is a philosophy, a way of life that distinguishes the ordinary from the extraordinary. In a world overflowing with noise, distractions, and people chasing attention, true power lies in becoming someone whose silence speaks volumes, whose absence causes shifts, and whose presence creates undeniable momentum. To live this way is to understand that influence isn't built in moments of glory, but in the consistent, deliberate choices made when no one is watching. To become this kind of person, you must first recognize that value is not about popularity or visibility. It is about impact. The world is full of people who are seen but not felt, heard but not remembered. Visibility is fleeting. Impact lasts. If you walk into a room and leave no echo behind, you were merely present, not effective. But when your contribution to that room causes others to adjust, reflect, or grow, you have left a mark. And that is what makes you unforgettable. The journey to becoming valuable starts with self-awareness. You must know who you are and what you bring to the table before you can expect others to see it. You must identify your strengths and refine them until they shine under pressure. You must also acknowledge your weaknesses, not to dwell on them, but to ensure they don't sabotage your strengths. There is no value in pretending to be perfect. The true value lies in becoming excellent through persistence, through integrity, through self-mastery. Discipline is the silent architect of value. You cannot build a reputation on potential alone. You must show up daily with intention. You must commit to improving your craft, your character, and your contribution. This does not mean working endlessly for recognition. In fact, the most powerful individuals are often those who quietly outperform expectations without needing applause. They know their worth does not need external validation. They understand that true value accumulates in the shadows and reveals itself in moments that matter. When you become the kind of person who solves problems, who brings clarity when others bring chaos, people will begin to lean on you, not out of convenience, but out of respect. Your name will be brought up in rooms where decisions are made. Your presence will be requested, not required. And if, for some reason, you are not available, your absence will not go unnoticed. People will begin to recognize that something is missing, not because of what you say, but because of what you do. This is not about manipulating others into fearing your loss. It is about becoming so excellent, so reliable, and so driven that your presence becomes synonymous with progress. It is about developing such strong principles that people feel elevated simply by working alongside you. Your standards will become contagious, your energy will inspire better behavior, your work ethic will make excuses uncomfortable for those around you, and slowly, without needing to boast, you become irreplaceable. Irreplaceability is not born from arrogance. It is born from quiet confidence and consistent contribution. It means being the person who brings solutions rather than complaints. It means being the one others turn to when pressure is high, when outcomes are uncertain, when stakes are real. And this reputation is not given, it is earned day by day through your actions, your attitude, and your resilience. Understand that in any environment, professional, personal, or social, people subconsciously take inventory. They notice who follows through, who cuts corners, who leads with integrity, and who crumbles under pressure. Over time, those patterns create perception, and perception, in the eyes of others, becomes your reality. That is why it is so vital to remain consistent with your values, even when it's hard, even when no one is watching, especially then. You must also develop emotional intelligence. Being valuable is not only about being competent, it's about being in tune with the needs, struggles, and aspirations of those around you. The ability to communicate with empathy, to inspire with sincerity, and to connect with authenticity will amplify your influence. People don't fear losing talent alone. They fear losing trust, losing vision, losing the calm confidence that someone like you brings into uncertain spaces. And as you rise, do not let ego contaminate your journey. Value is not loud, it does not boast, it does not demand, it simply delivers. When your work speaks louder than your words, you begin to occupy a space of undeniable relevance. When others look to you not because you asked, but because you've earned it, you've reached a level of influence that cannot be faked. To maintain this kind of value, you must also learn to say no. Time is a non-renewable resource, and your energy must be protected. Not every invitation is an opportunity. Not every connection is worth maintaining. Your value increases when you become more selective about where you invest your presence. The more intentional you are, the more impactful your presence becomes. And the more impactful your presence, the more people take notice when it's gone. There will be times when your efforts are not acknowledged, when your value is underestimated, but that does not mean it isn't real. Keep going, keep showing up with excellence. Let your results speak louder than opinions. Eventually, the silence you leave behind when you step away will say everything that needed to be said. People will begin to understand that what you brought to the table was not common, it was critical. And in that realization, they will feel the gravity of your absence. You must also cultivate a sense of independence. The most valuable people are those who operate from a place of internal strength rather than external need. They are not desperate for validation. They are not paralyzed by rejection. They move with purpose, guided by vision, and in doing so, they attract the right kind of attention, the kind rooted in respect, not pity or obligation. As you grow, remember that value is not just about achievement, it is about alignment. Are you aligned with your principles? Are you aligned with your mission? Are you aligned with your future? When everything you do stems from alignment, your life becomes a message. And that message resonates with those who recognize substance over style, depth over surface. Sometimes, becoming valuable means outgrowing certain spaces. It means walking away from environments that do not reflect your worth. It means distancing yourself from people who do not respect your time, your vision, or your contribution. This is not pride, it is preservation. Because the more you allow yourself to stay where you are not valued, the more you devalue you yourself. And that contradiction will eventually cost you your drive, your peace, and your potential. So keep building, keep refining, keep sharpening your edge. Let your work be your witness and your character be your compass. The goal is not to be needed by everyone. It is to be missed by the right ones when you're gone. Because when your absence speaks louder than your presence ever did, that's when you know you've built something real. That's when you know you've become truly valuable. Build yourself into someone whose energy, standards, and presence cannot be replicated. This is not a call to be better than others. It is a call to be the most refined, unshakable version of yourself. In a world full of imitation, where people borrow identities and mimic success, authenticity is your greatest competitive edge. To be unreplicable means to embody a rare combination of character, clarity, and consistency that no one else can fake or forge. The foundation of this lies in knowing who you are, not superficially, not through titles or opinions, but through deep, unwavering self-awareness. You must understand what drives you, what defines your integrity, what lines you will never cross, and what ideals you will live and die by. This internal compass is not for show. It is for survival. It's what anchors you when the world tries to bend your spine or water down your values. When you move through life with principles so clear and grounded that no amount of pressure or temptation can pull you off track, you become a force. Energy is not just about enthusiasm. It's about the frequency you operate on. It's how people feel when they're around you. Does your energy make others feel seen, driven, empowered? Or does it leave them confused, drained, or indifferent? You build powerful energy through discipline, mental clarity, and emotional control. People can sense when you are aligned, when your words match your actions, when your presence carries weight without arrogance. And that kind of energy is unforgettable. It lingers in a room, it moves people, it sparks transformation. To reach this level, you must first separate yourself from distraction. You cannot cultivate elite energy while giving your attention to everything and everyone. You must protect your mental space like it is sacred ground, because it is. The quality of your energy depends on the quality of your inputs, the conversations you have, the thoughts you feed, the content you consume, and the standards you hold yourself to when no one is watching. When you commit to sharpening your mind, strengthening your body, and purifying your intentions, your energy becomes undeniable. It is not something you manufacture. It becomes who you are. Next comes your standards. Your standards are not negotiable when you are building yourself into someone irreplaceable. You must raise them not only in how you treat yourself, but in what you tolerate from others. You do not entertain mediocrity. You do not excuse laziness. You do not settle for halfway. And this has nothing to do with being hard on others. It has everything to do with being loyal to your future. People will respect your standards if they are born from conviction and lived through example. You don't have to explain your discipline when your results do the talking. When your life reflects precision, people learn quickly that they can't bring carelessness into your space. Your presence is the final piece. And presence is not about being loud or constantly visible. It's about how deeply you are felt. When you walk into a room, people should feel a shift. Not because you're demanding attention, but because you are radiating alignment, certainty, and peace. You are calm in chaos, clear in confusion, steady in storms, and the reason people can't replicate that is because it comes from real work, inner work. You've battled demons they can't see. You've broken through limits they don't know exist. You've faced fear and turned it into fuel, and that's why you carry yourself differently. Your presence is earned, not granted. To be unreplicable, you must stop seeking comparison. You are not here to outshine others. You are here to express your full potential. You are here to embody something so raw, so refined, so relentless, that even those who try to imitate you end up exposing their lack of depth. Because imitation can copy surface habits, it can mirror routines, borrow language, even steal style, but it can't clone soul, and soul is what you're building. That's where your power is born. This path requires solitude at times. You cannot grow roots if you are constantly chasing validation. There will be seasons where you must isolate not to be alone, but to become. You will outgrow people, habits, mindsets, and environments. And each time you do, you must choose evolution over comfort. You must be willing to let go of what feels familiar if it no longer matches the future you are building. This takes courage. Most people never do it. That's why most people are replaceable. You must build a life that reflects your internal architecture. That means aligning your environment with your intentions. It means surrounding yourself with people who challenge you to elevate, not shrink. It means removing distractions that dilute your focus. It means waking up every day with a sense of mission, not just motion. When your life becomes a mirror of your highest self, your presence becomes magnetic. But you cannot do this halfway. You cannot say you want to be extraordinary and then act like everyone else. You cannot expect to stand out while doing the bare minimum. You cannot become unforgettable while living on autopilot. You must break the pattern. You must choose discipline over comfort, purpose over popularity, vision over validation. And when you do, your life will begin to carry a vibration that others can't mimic. Do not wait for permission to become this version of yourself. No one is coming to tell you when it's time to level up. No one is coming to remind you that you were born for more than average. That responsibility is yours. Every morning you wake up, you are writing your legacy, not with your words, but with your actions. Every choice you make is either reinforcing your uniqueness or eroding it, and the compound effect of those choices will either build you into someone irreplaceable or just another name in the crowd. Your value lies in your depth. Your depth comes from your discipline. Your discipline is born from your vision, and your vision is strengthened through belief. Belief in yourself. Belief in your capacity to grow, to lead, to influence. Even when no one claps, even when no one understands, even when your progress is invisible, you must move with belief so strong that it becomes contagious. Others may not understand your urgency. They may mock your standards. They may resent your distance. Let them. Your path is not built for their approval. You are not here to make everyone comfortable. You are here to shift what's possible, through your example, your energy, your execution. And in doing so, you give others permission to rise, because the unreplicable do not just lead, they ignite. That's why you don't lower yourself to be understood. You don't explain your elevation, you show it. You live it, and the people meant to grow with you will meet you at your level. Not by accident, but by awakening. You're not chasing followers. You're building leaders, not through command, but through conduct. This journey will require pain. Growth always does. You will fail. You will be doubted. You will lose people who don't understand your growth. Let it happen. Each loss clears space for alignment. Each setback sharpens your character. Each disappointment teaches you how to rise stronger. The more you endure, the more depth you develop. And that depth becomes the very thing no one can steal, copy, or compete with. Eventually, people will try to define you by what you do. But what truly defines you is how you do it. Your spirit, your precision, your presence, that's where the magic is. That's what makes you different. That's what makes you irreplaceable. And when others try to match it, they'll realize what you carry didn't come easy. It came from years of self work, from silence, from sacrifice, from rising again and again when no one was watching. So protect what you're building. Don't dilute it to fit in. Don't apologize for your ambition. Don't downplay your power. Let the world adjust to your frequency. Let your energy speak before your words. Let your standards repel the unqualified. And let your presence remind others what greatness feels like when it walks into the room. When you build yourself into someone whose energy, standards, and presence cannot be replicated, you no longer chase recognition. You become the benchmark. You stop competing for space and start commanding it, not with noise, but with undeniable substance. In a world full of echoes, you become the original, and when you walk away, your absence won't just be noticed. It will be felt, because what you bring cannot be replaced, imitated, or forgotten.